Hello, hello to everyone that's out there on our social media page, Marriage Coaching 101 Daily Tools and Authentic Love Marriages. Thank you so much for tuning in to our page. Okay, we want to go ahead and advertise our business, which is Authentic Love Marriage Coaching LLC. You only see one half of the dynamic duo team. My wife told me, said, babe, go ahead and you can handle it. So here we are. So as you see down at below, don't forget to authenticate your marriage. What is that? That is you exploring the real truths that your spouse has hidden way deep down inside and feeling free and feeling the atmosphere full of love and freedom to explore what's really on your heart, okay? Which is exploring the real, authentic you in the relationship, right? So when we say, don't forget to authenticate your marriage, continue to explore the real truth of the feelings that your spouse feels in order for your relationship and your marriage to grow. Okay. So, with that being said, thank you so much again for listening to us on this page. If you are in need of any coaching from any intervention, we want you to reach out to us at authenticlovemarriagecoaching.org. You can also reach out to us. You can see there on your screen, the number is 404 913 1691. That number again is 404 913 1691. We look forward to taking you on as a client. Before we take you on as a client, we have a 30-minute to 45-minute free consultation just to assess your relationship, just to give you a little bit of information about us and what we require in the sessions, just to see if you are a good fit and we are a good fit for you. Because the thing is, we want to take your marriage from where it is to where you would like to be. So, with that being said, thank you so much for considering Authentic Love Marriage Coaching LLC as your coaches to take your marriage from where it is to a successful marriage. Thank you so much. We hope to look forward to seeing you soon. Be blessed. And don't forget to authenticate your marriage. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day. Family, welcome to your authentic love marriage moment with who? Chaz
and Alicia.
and my beautiful wife, Alicia. Literally beautiful. Welcome to this is your authentic love marriage moment, Chaz and Alicia. And hey, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. And tonight, we're going to continue our series of what we're talking about, fidelity and infidelity, but we're going to concentrate on something different tonight in that same area.
In the same vein, traumas and triggers.
We're talking about infidelity that brings on traumas and triggers. So as always, we're going to let my wife go first.
Yeah, so traumas and triggers are designed to teach a lesson and designed to keep you contained in a position or a place where you're not able to heal and grow. Traumas and triggers from infidelity can cause you to not go forward in the marriage and not continue on. It can cause everyone to throw in the towel, everyone to be fed up and tired. Traumas and triggers can cause sickness, disease, hurt, and pain. And traumas and triggers can also bring up past hurts from previous relationships as well.
Okay. And hey, you can see traumas and triggers are really something heavy, something that you feel like you can't go on. You're like stuck in that place, right? That you can't move forward. Traumas and triggers always takes you back to that traumatic event,
right,
that happened in your life, right? It's like your mind takes a snapshot and it stores it in the back of your mind. And, with certain conversations, certain things that you look at, it can bring that snapshot, can bring it back forward, just like Facebook memories, right? Every so often you'll see a Facebook memory that comes up from a year ago.
Right.
Okay. Traumas and triggers works exactly that same way. When it comes to infidelity, right? It's always gonna go in the front of your mind, back of your mind. There is some major symptoms that comes with those traumas and triggers. So we want to give you a few symptoms of traumas and triggers, right? That changes in your physical and emotion reaction, right? The first one, being easily startled or frightened, always being on guard for danger, self-destructive behavior, such as drinking too much or driving too fast, trouble sleeping, trouble concentrating, irritability, anger, outbursts, or aggressive behavior, overwhelming guilt or shame. Okay? Those are some of the things or some of the symptoms that comes with that, right? Trouble sleeping. What is that? Why is it trouble sleeping? It's because even when you're going to sleep, your memory is still turning. That trauma and trigger is still going, that makes you uneasy when you rest. When you agree?
Totally agree. And it makes you very irritable, like you said. You'll be very irritable. You'll be snapping at the cat, dog, children, driving. That can bring on road rage and different things like that. So you have to have a way of controlling it, and not just saying controlling, just a way of releasing it and it helps to have, someone to talk to, and for them to really seriously hear your heart and not try to interject their own opinions about it. Just hear what you're saying and let you release it. Because then you become aggressive. You become aggressive because, like, wait a minute, nobody's hearing me. And then, that can bring on tantrums and, the yelling and the screaming. So, it's traumas and triggers, not only just because it happened in infidelity, but also because it happened in life. So,
there's a speaker that I often listen to. His name is Joe Dispenza, and Mr. Joe Dispenza's rationale on traumas and triggers is it'll go from a trauma or trigger. Traumas and triggers goes into a stress. It goes into depression. It goes into a temperament.
Right.
And then the end is the personality trait. Right. When it gets to a personality trait, your friends who you probably hadn't seen in a long time notice a change to where it's like you're always angry. You're always speaking negative. You're always focusing on the negative. When somebody speak, you look for those negative phrases, and those negative phrases begin to take you over or take over the conversation. Right. So when it gets to a personality trait, relationships are like coming to an end because of the negativity, which, it says self-destruct.
Yeah, you self-destruct. You eventually self-destruct. And traumas and triggers, when you think about somebody who, or, you ever spoke to someone that, that said that, man, I just blacked out because they was in self-destruction mode. They didn't know, like, man, I just need a relief. But yeah, you hurting someone is not a relief, because there comes consequences, and yeah, there's a consequence of that, so repercussion and consequences to that erratic behavior. And then here you go doing prison time. I mean, we watched the movie called Kaleidoscope. I know I used to bring up a movie. So we watched a movie called Kaleidoscope, and the guy went to jail, and he ended up losing his wife, and his kid had to go into underground foster care and stuff like that. I'm telling you the movie, right? So that's probably like, oh my God. Spoiler alert. Right. Fast forward this part. But he ended up getting sick in there because of the trauma of everything that happened, because of the trauma. And so eventually he ended up getting Parkinson, something like that, like a Parkinson disease, something like that. But the doctor was like, well, that when he went to go see the doctor in the infirmary, he said, something like, we need to watch that because we knew that this would happen because of because of the stress level. So anyway, that was a little rabbit trail, but back to you, Chaz.
As you can see, we have our Netflix night pretty much every night, majority of the weekend, right?
We really do.
That's here again, a little bit of our quality time we're sharing with you due to us watching movies. But let me give you here again definition, right? Trauma trigger, right? A trauma trigger is a physical stimulus that prompts involuntary recall of a previous traumatic experience. A trauma trigger may also be called trauma stimulus, a trauma stressor, or a trauma reminder.
And it is big. It's a stressor, it's a stimulus, but the biggest thing, it is a reminder.
It's a reminder, right?
And how do you deal with those reminders? You have to, like, one thing Chaz and I was talking about, he was like, babe, you've been concentrating on most of the negative part of it, but I'm like, no, I can remember the negative part, but if I've been concentrating on the negative part of it, we won't be sitting in front of you guys, because it'll be a stressor, which becomes, it'll take on a life of its own, and then the life of its own is like, okay, cutting ties or whatever. But if I was concentrating on the negativity, then we won't be moving forward, but a woman, she could pull up the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And here again, people receive those traumas and triggers. They act different, right? Male and female may receive those traumas and triggers a little differently.
Right.
Whereas a woman or wife may voice her trauma and trigger in certain conversations, especially if those conversations are intense with your husband. All right, the husband receives the trauma and trigger might be a little different because it's working from the inside. Right, we begin to have a lot of silent treatments. We walk around the house angry, upset, come in the house, take a shower, we go to our place of isolation. You won't see us until dinner, you won't see us until the next day. Right,
or you come in slamming the door, slamming cabinets, slamming down your cell phone, different stuff.
Right. If there's children that's involved, right, you're snapping at the children for a little something that it's probably a little nothing. They're children, right? Especially if they're little toddlers or babies, right? We have to be mindful. Okay, as quick as the trauma and the trigger is recognized within yourself, seek professional help. Right? We've said this numerous of times during this show on different various topics. It's important to receive the attention, right? Several years ago, it was it was embarrassing to say that I'm going to see a counselor or I'm going to get therapy, but now I'm thankful that people are now recognizing I need to go talk to somebody. I got a whole life to live, and I want to live in happiness. I want to live in peace. I need to talk to someone to help me get through these traumas, these triggers. When it comes to infidelity, right? As soon as infidelity takes place, seek professional help, okay? Because the infidelity piece is really something to where now you have this thought in your mind that you're laying down with the enemy, right? When you're laying down with the enemy, there is no peace.
Sleeping with the enemy.
It was a
movie reference.
Movie reference, right?
Jennifer Lopez.
If you're sleeping in the bed and you think that you're sleeping with the enemy, right? There's nothing that you can do on your own to get past that.
Nothing.
You have to make sure you seek professional help with that, right? So, what do? We talk. What do? We talk and we reassure ourselves. We did a taping a while back, a recording a while back, where it says 5 levels of apology, right? Well, we talked about a little bit of that. It's going to take some real effort on your part to resolve those issues if those traumas and triggers come to a place to where you recognize that you're having them.
Right. And those traumas and triggers, you have to get help, but also to be willing to have a change of heart towards your spouse. Be willing to have that change of heart and change your mind on that situation. And then that'll help you start moving and looking at him or her in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And not with only infidelity, but in certain conversations when things are being said that's pretty much taken out of context, or if you're trying to get leverage, or if you're meaning to get revenge, in your relationship because of the hurtful things that's being said, right? What we have to do is, hey, we have to issue that apology, and we have to make sure that apology is sincere in order to move past that. Because why? That can ultimately take on traumas and triggers. Verbal abuse can be a trauma or a trigger as well.
Right. So verbal abuse can be a trauma and trigger as well. And it could come in different ways. It could come like your childhood, and so if it came from your childhood, you're gonna really have to do a breadcrumb, or you're gonna have to go back and figure out why that situation made you have that angry outburst and stuff like that.
All right. So with that being said, we gave you a lot. We gave you something to look at. And here again, as we always say, okay, if you notice anyone that is having those type of issues in their life, please seek professional help. All right. If there's a married couple, right, that's going through that same thing, hey, do not hesitate. Give them information to a coach or a counselor. All right. We like to say, hey, bring it on to us. We'll walk through and help you look at steps on how to start from where you are and go forward into a successful relationship. You can reach us at authenticlovemarriagecoaching.org. Our company is Authentic Love Marriage Coaching LLC. We'll be glad to take you on as a client, and we'll be glad to give you the steps that you need to apply, right? Our book, Marriage Coaching 101 Daily Tools, right? 101 Daily Tools, full of applications that you can apply on a daily basis. All right. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining this episode of Your Authentic Love Marriage Moment. Hey, look, we got one more show to go before we start season 3. Season 3 is going to be very exciting. We're getting ready to go into a place in our few shows that you're going to see a little bit of difference in us and in our conversation. It's going to be very exciting. We got a special guest that's coming on our first show of season 3. We're going to let a little bit of our experience and a little bit more of what we've experienced in marriage come out in season 3. All right. Yeah. So stay tuned to that. If you're watching us on social media, please click the like button, hit share, hit that notification bell, and hey, let your friends and family know that, hey, your Authentic Love Marriage Moment is live. Share this video with someone who you think can benefit from it. And hey, all we're about is authentication in your marriage. So with our slogan, what we say, don't forget to authenticate your marriage. All right, everyone, take care. We will talk to you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. All right, be blessed and have a wonderful upcoming weekend. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.